Alright, ranking all Sienna weapons based on my experience with them on Cataclysm and Deathwish Onslaught and above. Let's start with the melee weapons. Pretty easy S tiers, I think. Flail and Fire Sword, both easy S. Flame Sword has amazing synergy with Battle Wizard, especially if you run Famished. Absurd Stagger, absurd temp HP gen with Stagger. And Flail is amazing on Unchained and probably the best on everything but Battle Wizard. Absurd Stagger makes Deathwish Onslaught feel like regular Cataclysm on Unchained. And very good damage with the Explosion and the Heavy 2, which has like a single target damage but like Horde Clear Cleave. Pretty nuts. Into multiple elites at the same time. Then, is there an A tier weapon for Sienna? Might argue that Dagger is A tier. Alright, let me think about that. No, Dagger is B tier. The most mobile weapon Sienna has access to. It also has a slam, so it's decent-ish with staggered imp HP. And also with cleave. But it feels like it just lacks damage, especially into density. And the access to Heavy 2 is not easy enough to make it good enough. If you could push stack into Heavy 2, that would be decent. Yeah. Then I'll probably put One-Handed Sword in C tier just because Pyro has very good synergy with it. But if Pyro didn't have such good synergy with it, I wouldn't put it in C tier. Then Crowbale, I don't know. I just think it's probably D tier. It's pretty unsafe. Doesn't generate a lot of temp HP. Only on kill, it's somewhat decent, but you don't really want to be sniping that many elites with Sienna in melee. So it's hard to make use of it in that niche. And the single target damage isn't that good for it to be worth giving up all the other qualities of other weapons. Then Mace, probably C tier. It has pretty decent super armor damage. It has decent temp HP generation and decent all around damage, but it still feels like it's lacking something. Then the ranged weapon, Koru is an easy S. It's her best ranged weapon by quite a distance. It does, you would say it does one thing and it does it very well, but it does so much damage that even sniping specials is pretty doable for a weapon that's supposed to be only against hordes. And the patches into density are such a low effort way to increase your DPS by so much, especially on stuff like spicy. A lot of bugs going on. Yeah. Then A tier range weapon is probably Bolt. Amazing breakpoints on Battle Wizard on both official and on modded difficulties. Decent, pretty decent breakpoints on the other careers as well, on both modded and official, especially on official. It's her best sniper by far. And it's pretty damn good at it. Yeah. It's pretty solid weapon. It doesn't do a lot, but what it does very, very well. And the cleave on a sniper weapon like that also means that it's really easy to use on elites and hordes as well. Well, if you were using a handgun, for example, and you were shooting elites with it in hordes, a lot of times you would waste shots because they would get blocked by infantry units, while with bolt it just cleaves through them. Then I'm probably putting Fireball in B tier. Decent all-around weapon with decent boss damage. It's just a good all-rounder. It doesn't really excel in one thing as much as the others, but once you go up to dead vision stuff, it really starts to suffer in sniping specials because they just become too tanky and it takes too long. And Beam, same story, also really good all around. A little worse into armor density, but better against monsters and in long range sniping. It's slightly worse than Fireball at short range sniping though. Then Conflag and Flamethrower are both probably C tiers. They're both only really good against hordes. And Conflag is supposed to bring stagger, while Flamethrower just does more damage. But Conflag stagger really suffers at the moment with the current stagger values on Deathwish. It used to be better on old Deathwish, but now the stagger values are so high that it just doesn't stagger anything but trash. You also need to really... Only on full charge you can stagger elites out of certain attacks, and even then there's no way you can change stun lockdown, so it doesn't bring enough value for how limited it is in what it can do. On official, it still staggers stun locks a whole lot of shit. It's the one staff I used to clear Pyro through solo with, surprisingly. But even on official, you're probably better off using other staffs, especially in team play, since the safety isn't that great and the monster damage is also pretty bad.